Hey everyone, welcome back to Northern High 420. Today we're going to cover the Pulsar Chorus and the Dr. Dabber Ghost 2 in a side-by-side. These are two of the newest little pocket dabbers, at least that's what I'm calling it, on the market currently. Both, so far, I haven't done a true battery test. I've been getting really good battery life. I used this one all day yesterday when I was at work, and it lasted the whole day. When I left, it had 47% left, and I did probably around 8 sessions, so pretty good. I'm averaging around 3 hits before I clean or swab it out. That gives you an idea. My sessions are probably a little shorter. I usually just run the 30 seconds on it and call it good. But this one I usually have to reheat. And I'll explain why when we get to the side-by-side. But overall, nice devices. Both are very small and concealable. Pulsar, I like the design better just on the fact that it looks a little bit like a geek bar, and where I live, that's kind of advantageous to look that way. The Ghost 2, however, is smaller, and you can conceal it in your hand and not be easily seen. Both of them are nice to carry around as portables. They have good battery life, at least from the little bit I've used them both. They're both fairly new, but they seem to do a pretty good job that way. So how about we power these up and take a hit, and we'll go over the features with each one. First one up we're going to do is the Ghost 2. And it's hold the power on. And we're going to do them both on medium, like a second setting. On the Dr. Dabber, I believe that's green. On the Dr. Dabber, we're going to do it on yellow. That's pretty similar to what I believe this is. Exactly the same temp. They're both 510, so that's a good way to test it. Double tap to fire it up. With this, it's going to remain red on the side till it's ready, and it vibrates. Both of them have haptic feedback, so they both vibrate when they're ready. The session lengths are both pretty short. I wish you could extend them on both of them without having to reheat. We're going to take our first rip. We'll go ahead and clean this one out. Ghost 2 tastes really good. His strength's adequate. It's pretty good. The chamber is small on this, so not going to be sticking big globs in there. It is a deeper bucket. Both of them clean out pretty easy, except for the corners in the dabber is a little harder to get into, where the Pulsar Chorus is a little easier to clean. But they don't stain. They both remain pretty clean. I don't have any staining on either of them yet. The Ghost 2 has some advantages though on flavor. First, I'm going to give you the ceramic mouthpiece. It's a completely ceramic path in there, which is nice for flavor. This is definitely going to perform better on the flavor side of things. Also, feel in the hand. This has that higher end feel to it. Feels really solid. This feels like a geek bar. If you ever held one before, it feels exactly the same. But again, advantage to being more concealable. It doesn't look high end. No one's gonna make a high end disposable vape, so pretty cool. Portability is important to me. When I'm using it at home, I want a premium device that looks good. I'd like the same thing out in the wild, but at times, like say family events, like going to the park for a family reunion, I don't want the rest of the general public to see me with something like that. So if I'm using this, they're not really going to think anything about it. You could probably get away with this too because it's small and concealable. But both these are very good at that. Let's go ahead and power up the Pulsar. This is also hold the power on. With the Pulsar, you have a lot of information on the screen. You have your temperature setting. Mid has 4. You have high, max, low. Or use it on mid. That's where I've been using mine. Underneath you have the temperature, which is 510, and a session timer and a heat up timer. So when it's heating up, it does count that off as well. And underneath that you have your battery life, and mine's at 53%. I used this morning a few times too, so doing pretty good on battery life actually. The battery life right now is at 53%. This heats up pretty quick. I think like 20 seconds, something like that. It's ready. We're gonna take our first puff. Done with the Pulsar. We'll swap this one out. Again, stupid easy to clean. I like that about these. Major pet peeve of mine would be staining. I hate staining. Drives me crazy. But neither one of these seem to do that. So the other features that are cool, this one has a few different heat modes. You have a ascent mode where it starts low and builds up heat. Then you have a descent where it comes back down. So you have more options as far as dialing in your hit. And then you have an even power heating band where it just heats evenly, kind of like an e-nail would. So pretty cool that you can dial this one in. This is really kind of a connoisseur type device. It gives you a better hit as far as flavor goes. It's more configurable as far as heat delivery. So this one's pretty cool that way. They're both $120, so pick your poison here. But this one, it has some different type of creature comforts. In here you have a little storage dish for some concentrate. I already used mine at work to test it. It's pretty cool. It's actually glass lined, which is nice. It's got a ceramic top. So no silicone actually in this at all, which is awesome. Kind of cool. Plus you can pull it out and soak it. All thought out. Atomizer unscrews. When you get to flipping this thing over, I'm going to put the top back on. When you flip this thing over, this is kind of the standout feature right here. Is the hot knife. It charges on the device, so using the device's battery. You can kind of see the power connectors right there, and on the top is the power button. It works pretty well. Like, I was using it all day yesterday, and usually I would be carrying a hot knife. Yesterday I just carried this. I also just used the jar, so the only thing I carried other than that was, someone asked earlier in my comments about what I carry with, or do I carry Q-tips? I usually carry this. They work out well. You can refill it. You don't have to buy them from Focus Speed, even though the tipped ones are nice to have. Another feature on this one that's unique, and I have the Hachi coming from Octave also. They're basically a very similar device. I wish this was a little easier to pop off, but I get why they put it in like that. It's so you can set it down flat. But the Hachi I don't think has a water pipe adapter, which kind of sucks. Even though I wouldn't personally use this on water very often, other than for some video content and to play around with. I have other things that do that. It's really nice if you're looking at your first device to have all these options available, to be able to put it on water if you want to play around with that. So you can kind of learn what you like and then go from there. Not all of us have a bunch of these or other options, so that's something I had to consider. Shout out to Turf Chasers Club for kind of opening my eyes on how you should review devices, not more from like how I use it, but more in a how other people would use it. His example was about his adapters, which I haven't got around to reviewing it, but like I have different ball vapes that do different things, so I wouldn't really use the adapters as much. But if that's your only ball vape, that's pretty cool. So this is kind of like that. This is the universal dabber. But overall, I like this device a lot. I will probably carry this one more than the Ghost 2 for a few reasons. The onboard hot knife, I don't like carrying a lot of crap in my pockets, so having this is clutch. Um, More importantly to me is I value hit strength over flavor. This doesn't taste bad enough to offset the difference in hit strength. I feel like this hits a lot better as far as hit strength than the Ghost 2. The Ghost 2 feels a little lighter. This feels like maybe a little closer to like the Puffco Pivot as far as hit strength. Flavor wise, this is under a Pivot. This is under the Ghost 2 for sure. Um, I think it's probably better than the Yokan Pocket, and I will do a side by side with that one pretty soon. But overall, I really like this device. I like them both. I'll probably use them both quite a bit. But definitely, this might be the one that ends up in my car a lot. The water pipe adapter, probably won't use it a lot. I'll post some videos on how to use it and how good it works. It works pretty good. I have one video up on Instagram about it. Overall, really nice device by Pulsar. Good job. I like it a lot so far. As long as durability and it holds up. Might be something I use quite a bit. Ghost 2, can't fault it. If you like flavor more than hit strength, it hits adequately. It's not a weak hitter. It hits pretty adequately for these little pocket devices. It's just, this hits a lot better as far as the hit strength goes. So for me, I would choose the Pulsar over the Ghost 2, but if I were you, I would wait a week because I will have the Hachi, which I'll post a picture of it when I do the edit, is very similar to this. I think the Hachi has an all glass air path or ceramic, so it'll be more geared towards flavor. So that'll be pretty interesting. So something to stay tuned for. Till next time, please like and subscribe and have a good day.